Hello and welcome to the third part of the tutorial stream Chaoswulff and I did some time ago. We talked very long about 6 different subjects that we think is the basics of the game. And this third part is all about missions and the passenger lounge. It's not really a step-by-step tutorial, but I am sure there are a lot of subjects covered in this that are very important either for a new player or for a player that's been out of the game for quite some time. So enjoy. Let us know what you think about this video. If you have any comments on what we're covering and any requests to be covered in the next episode, we're already planning that, so please feel free to request certain subjects for the next episodes. Without further ado, here's Chaoswulff kicking this one off.
Yep, well, to have a look at the missions. There's several different types, actually there's quite a few different types of missions. Anything from delivering data, which is just general courier missions, to delivering cargo, to killing NPCs, to mining materials. Many different ways of doing things in the game.
Yeah, here we have Aristocrats of Darawal. They've got some different missions here. Killing NPCs, that's this one. Basically, massacre the Jonai interstellar ships. They ask you to go into war as some sort of a
contract killer.
A contract killer, yeah. I was searching for another word. I just couldn't find it. But a mercenary. That's probably the word.
That would be another way of saying it. Yes, probably better.
So you actually team up with this faction, because these are all different factions in the game. You team up with this faction and you kill, let's say, 6 ships for them of Jonai Interstellar. So that's one of the other parties in here. And then you get 85,758 credits. Well, that is nice, but it's not really worth it, I guess. Especially not at the start. I wouldn't go for that.
That's not too bad, and especially since the recommended rank for that is mostly harmless. That's a low-ranked mission. Well, that's not surprising, considering that you are currently neutral with that faction, because as you can see with each of the faction contacts down on the left-hand side, you can see a little bar below, and that shows you how friendly you are with that particular faction. The closer the bar is to being completely full, the more friendly you are with them, and the more higher ranking missions you are more likely to get from them. Yep. The less friendly you are, the worse missions you're going to be. Because as you can see, we are currently friendly with the Wolves of Jonai, which is again my faction. But because we control the system, we don't have as many missions. So everybody else seems to have more missions than we do.
Yeah, so we're just looking at these missions because, if you do these missions, you actually help this faction to gain a little more influence. It's not that a lot, but if you do a lot of these missions for a faction, you will change the influence of this faction within the system. And of course, we don't want to progress any of these factions beyond the Wolves of Jonai, because that's us.
That would be very sad.
Exactly. So, what missions are? Soon Pure Red says, they say don't drink and drive. What about drink and fly? I was just having water.
That's even worse.
I was having water, so not that bad. I think data transfer missions are probably the best ones to start with, because you can just pick, get a lot of those. You don't really need any cargo space for it.
No, you don't need any cargo space at all. So data transfer missions you can do that on any ship.
Though it's not really actually true. You do need some cargo space, not to transfer the data itself, but sometimes there is a reward that actually gives you certain parts.
Yes. So only if you get a reward of commodities, then you will in fact need cargo space to actually receive the reward, because otherwise you won't be able to handle the mission.
Yeah, here it says
extenuating circumstances.
Here, this is one example of that. Assassinate deserters. So there's a war going on, and of course, some people are walking away from that, so they want you to kill Carl Frankton. He'll be in this system around this time, and you've got about, well, this time to finish the mission, so 23 hours 54 minutes. You also get 4 nano breakers, so next to the reward and credits you also get this. And since I don't have any cargo capacity on this ship, I cannot accept this mission, even if this is not a freighter mission, so you don't actually need the cargo space to transport something. You still can't accept this mission because you don't have the cargo space to accept the mission reward.
But if you're running missions, it's always a good idea to have at least some cargo. The bare minimum to have 4 tons of cargo capacity.
And any ship can handle 4 tons of cargo, right? Even the Eagle?
Even the Eagle, even the Sidewinder. In fact, the Eagle's larger than the Sidewinder.
Anyway, we think that, I'm saying we, but I think strategic data transfer missions of something like that, you know, data transfer missions, can be recognizable with this symbol. Those are the easiest ones to start with. And probably the best ones to start with as well. Next to that is probably the delivery missions, so just deliver 10 units of semiconductors to a certain system and get your credit reward as well. So those are the simplest missions to start with.
Yeah, but with the delivery missions like so, you will need more cargo space, so you're more likely wanting to go for either a multi-role or a cargo rated ship. So again, we're going to be covering that when we talk about ships and outfitting.
Yep. I'm actually looking for something else. It's probably been refreshed, but let's reload this and see if there's other missions. No, not yet. Stay away from these missions at the start. It's probably best described as the contract killing missions. You need to go for someone specific in a specific system around a specific time. Especially at the start, your ship is probably not your skill is probably not high enough to be successful in missions like these. Next to that, there is a recommended rank here. Don't pay any attention when it comes to data or transporting missions or missions like that, but if it's about fighting, you definitely want to look at this. If you're not mostly harmless yourself in combat, then you're probably not experienced enough to take this mission on and be successful in completing it.
Yeah, certainly. The assassination missions, which is the one you're looking at the moment, they are some of the harder ones, especially to begin with. Until you get your ship up to a certain level of upgrade. After that, then they'll start getting a little bit easier. But these people will be in upgraded ships, sometimes combat-rated ships, sometimes luxury liners. And sometimes they'll have bodyguards, sometimes they won't. So the combat rank, the recommended combat rank, is basically just a rough guide as to how difficult that mission is going to be for you to complete.
Yeah, so probably if there's a recommended rank here that says harmless, you probably want to be just beyond harmless, maybe a step above harmless, because it might be easier for you to do that. I'm looking for different types of missions. Oh, here we have some. Wartime surface target scan operation.
Yeah, that is actually going to planetary surfaces and scanning surface bases for strategic data.
So it says here, requires SRV, which is the vehicle that I just drove around in on a planet. If you don't have an SRV, you can't drive into the base and scan the data panel that you have to or locate and interact, as it says here. But you basically fly up to a planet, land outside of a base, drive in, scan, and drive back to your ship, and that's it. Then there's here.
Sometimes it can be a little bit more difficult than that if there are hostiles on the planet, because there are little skimmers that may potentially go and try and attack you. But you've also got, as you can see there, you've got a few missions that have what look like a crescent moon, and those are planetary missions. Those you will require horizons to actually go to the planet in order to go and complete them. So some of these missions are going to be planet side, some of them are going to be out in open space.
Yep. Well, these salvage to structural regulators, salvage missions. This one is on a planet as well. You just have to find these. These are the missions that take a lot of time because it's not really easy to find the things that. Of course, that's that's why they're lost, and that's why they need to pay you to find them. That's the whole idea behind it. But it's it might be hard to find it, so it might not be worth. If you want to progress quickly and get a lot of credits, don't take these missions. They are nice, as in good for gameplay. But if you want to, let's say, get up to about 500,000 credits really fast because you need a certain, or you want a certain ship, don't get missions like this or the Liberate One Occupied Escape Pod, because they take a lot of time to complete. And you'll probably better off trying some other types of missions.
Oh, certainly. So combat missions, even bounty hunting would pay out a lot faster than those missions. But then again, those missions are a lot of the time based on RNG. Sometimes they are in a specific place, but you need to go through a specific set of... Oh, I've forgotten the word I'm looking for now. Sorry, my brain just went completely blank at this point. You know what? This is why I'm a YouTuber. It's the magic of editing. Just makes me seem so much better than I actually am.
Yeah, I'll edit this out. Oh no, it's live. Sorry. No problem. I'll edit this out before I upload it on YouTube. As a bit. I mean, I'll upload the whole thing as well, but we'll be okay. There is.
Oh, sorry, carry on.
Yeah, there are some more missions, some more types of missions. I'm actually hoping that this it refreshes a little so I can show you those missions, but they're not in here. But anyway, there might be missions with two arrows, one pointing to the left and one pointing to the right. Those are missions in which they need you to acquire a certain commodity for them. They can be really rewarding as well, but at the same time it might be a pain to get the material if you don't know where to look.
Yeah. Those are ones where you have to go and source the materials yourself. They basically said, oh, we want these items, but we want you to go and find them for us. Whereas if you have the little cargo canister, the missions with the cargo canister and the arrow next to it, that is one where they will supply the cargo and you've just got to go and deliver it.
Plus this, if you're transporting the cargo, like this mission, the amount of credits here is pure profit. That's just the amount that they pay you to get the cargo there. You don't have to purchase the cargo yourself and then sell it and hope to get a profit. That is what you're actually doing if you're trying to get, if you're getting one of these other missions and they need you to get out, purchase something, they'll still give you the fixed amount of credits, and so it looks like you're actually earning more credits, but because you have to pay and purchase the commodities yourself first, your profit may be a little lower.
Yes, certainly.
So let's see, have we covered missions then? Well, there's
also the... Oh, what's the word I'm looking for again? Moment. There's also the donation missions, which you can donate either cargo or credits to a said faction.
Yeah, there was one
these
here.
It's under Wolves of Jonai, I believe. These particular missions themselves, they do not benefit you at all monetarily, so you're not going to get any credits for these missions. But what they will do is up your reputation with the faction that you're doing them for. So in long term, you're going to be getting more missions from them. Oh, it's not showing up on yours anymore, so the board's refreshed.
It's refreshed just now. I was hoping it to refresh, and now I was hoping it didn't refresh, and it did.
Yes, no, the mission board actually refreshes once every 15 minutes.
Yep. So, but there's still no mission that we were just talking about, that you actually have to go out and get the cargo that they want yourself. So we can't show that at the moment. Oh, maybe here. Maybe here. Nope. Still not.
No,
but there is a...
missions with there's a bunch of missions where the icons look like standard cargo deliveries, but they've got a skull in the background, which is like with the Jonai Purple Mob.
Yeah, this one here.
That one is... that one's a smuggling mission. Now, those ones will pay more, but they're also illegal. So if you get scanned by the local authority, you're either going to get a bounty, a fine, or they may even start attacking you outright. So just be warned about those ones. They're very high reward, but they're also kind of high risk.
Yep. So it depends on how you want to play these. Or how you want to play the game, because everyone plays differently as well. And that's probably something we should have mentioned in key bindings as well. If you're an explorer and you just like to go out into the vast open spaces of space, basically, of course you're not going to need to bind a key for chaff and to bind a key for a for different. Yeah, for different things you don't need if you go out exploring, which you will need if you go out fighting or doing other stuff. So it depends on what you're doing as well, and that might actually be the trigger for you to change your setup as well at some point. If you started freighting a lot of so going back and forth with a lot of freight, you might need different a different setup for your buttons and knobs and switches than if you're going to fight at some point.
Although if you do end up spending time doing a little bit of everything, eventually you're going to have everything bound to something, either on your keyboard or on your HOTAS or your controller, and you're going to be just flying around. You'll be able to do everything at the touch.
Yeah, or your hot ass. Depends.
Or your HOTAS. Yes.
Yeah. Your hot ass.
Your hot ass. Yes, definitely.
Yep. Anyway, did you cover smuggling missions? Says Mouse DK here.
And yes, we just did.
Yeah. We just did, yeah. Then there's the passenger lounge, which is basically the same, but it's just transporting people from one place to another. Most of them are just simple transport, like this one, like these two actually. You can see you can earn a lot of credits with these, but then again, some are. Oh well, this is actually quite good. Only 12 or 13 light years away, and you can earn 460,000 credits with it. That's pretty good. But then again, it is a passenger that may be wanted in multiple systems, so you might get attacked. And then
a lot of these missions will have caveats to them, as you can see up at the top in blue. They will tell you what kind of passenger you have, whether they are demanding. If they're demanding, they're going to be making demands of you as the pilot, saying, "Go to the station and buy me cargo," or go to this station instead. So they're a lot more dynamic than just the standard cargo missions. Not only this, but you're going to have different types of passenger cabins, because they range from anything from economy up to business class, then to first class, and then into luxury cabins.
Oh,
and
Overdose 42, yeah. Thanks for the follow. Just had to say that.
Yeah, no, it's fine. So there's a lot of different things as well, but as you can see, there's a couple of different types of missions. If you look in the United Workers' Party, they've got two different types of missions there. There's the little suitcase with the crown, which are VIPs. Those ones are going to be the more demanding, and then you've got the ones with the suitcase, which is no crown, and those are just standard freighting. They basically just go into your cab. They're bulk transport missions. You bring them in, fly them to their destination. They generally get annoyed if you delay the mission too long. So if you do it nice and quick, they're going to be nice and happy with you. But a lot of celebrities, they're not going to be bothered too much about delays, but they are going to be annoyed if they are secretive, because then they won't want to be scanned by police. And that really upsets them for some reason.
Yeah, one thing I noticed with this mission is it says passenger may be wanted in multiple systems. So you are going to get into a little trouble. Well, the chances are greater that you're going to get into some trouble with a passenger that is wanted than with a passenger that is not wanted. And then again, here it says passenger traits does not react well to danger. Hull damage will dramatically reduce passenger satisfaction. And if your hull actually goes below a certain threshold, so let's say your hull goes down to 25%, but you still survive, they might actually say, drop me off at the nearest station, that's it, I've had enough. So they're
not quite so much
causing.
VIPs, they'll just eject out to your ship.
Oh, well, so they're actually causing the problem themselves because they're wanted.
They'll cause a lot. They'll cause the problem because they're wanted. Yes.
And then again, when you're not reacting well to that, you're not, you're not capable, or you're not qualified enough, your ship isn't strong enough, or whatever.
They'll just jump ship. Yes.
They'll just jump your ship, and you've just damaged your ship with no return. So there is a little risk in these missions.
Yeah, not only will they have caused the problem where they'll have got people coming after you to attack them. If they don't like this, they'll just eject out of your ship in the escape pod. Then you'll have to go and restock the escape pod and repair your ship. And you'll most likely also have to go and kill the NPC that was sent against you.
Oh, so Archangel 1974. Halo, my alpha. Commander Angelus Death here to watch.
Hello there, Angelus.
But as you can see, some of these missions are really high paying. Like this one, Rich Tourist. He needs to travel to 1, 2, 3, 4 different systems. And when you've done that, you'll earn 2 point something. Where does it say that? It doesn't say that here anymore. Or I'm just such a noob that I'm actually overlooking it. Here it says 2.1 million credits. So you can earn quite a lot of money with these missions.
Yeah, currently looking at the Jonai Purple mob, there's a person that wants to go
Kelvin Pate, yes.
But it's 15,000 light years away. So that's a long distance, but it does actually pay 12 million credits. So like I said, these missions are, well, like we've said, these missions are very high paying, but they're also a lot more difficult at times.
Yeah, for this one you actually have 4 weeks to complete it as well. Well, 4 weeks minus 23 minutes.
Yeah, and that's not just to get there, that's to get back as well.
So 2 weeks to get there, 2 weeks to get back. You might actually think about, if you want to go into the black and just explore a little, why not just take 2 weeks to travel to this system? Just go and explore, take this person along with you for the ride. You at least have someone to talk to. And if you're back in 4 weeks, or within 4 weeks actually, you'll get 12.4 million next to your scan data payment thingy. I probably have to go get myself a drink as well now.
Alright.
Well,
currently,
yeah.
You go get a drink, I'll carry on talking about this.
Okay. Thanks.
Because currently on one of the video series that I'm doing on my channel at the moment called Zero to Hero, the commander there, Commander Ducky, is actually going around and doing nothing but passenger missions. And sometimes these passengers are a little bit more trouble than they're worth. Not one of the last episodes we did, we ended up having a criminal on board, and it was really difficult trying to get them where they needed to go, because I had ships coming after me trying to interdict me, pulling me out of super cruise, and trying to scan us, but we just managed to get there with nothing happening. So, well, nothing too bad happening, so that was very nice to get done. But like we said, passenger missions are basically at their most fundamental, slightly more dynamic cargo missions, although you've got to keep the cargo happy this time. Now, like we said as well, it does require your ship be fitted with passenger cabins, and each of the different missions would require a different class of cabin. The lower paying missions, a lot of those people will be more than happy to sit in economy class. Other passengers, they will demand business class, first class, or even luxury class. Now, luxury class cabins can only be fitted to currently one of 2 ships in the game. but either the Orca or the Beluga, and these are the luxury passenger liners. So before we actually had passenger liners, the Orca was actually in the game from release, and a lot of people just used it as a very poor trade ship, either that or a combat torpedo. So they just fitted it full with hull reinforcements, which is used as a battering ram in combat. Now it's actually found its own, now that we've got these passenger missions. And people that want luxury cabins, they will generally pay out a lot of money for you to take them where they need to go. Problem is, as well, as they're most likely going to be very demanding and a right pain in your ass. I've had multiple missions where the passenger said, on the way, I literally just left the starport, and they've said, "Oh, can you go to this? Can you go and buy me 2 tons of liquor, please? I fancy having a party." Like, I wish you had told me this before we'd left the port.
That's about it for this episode. Thanks for watching. I hope to see you in the next episode, which will be aired next Friday if all goes well. And don't forget to subscribe, like and comment on this video, especially if you want us to cover something specific on our next tutorial stream. If you like the music I'm playing during these videos, check the video description. It's made by a friend of mine who is a brilliant artist, in my opinion. So in the video description is a link to his site, and you can purchase the music there. It'll really help him out, and well, we could support an artist like that. And thanks again for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!